I created playlists for my videos, like one for DIY stuff, one for where to buy affordable Lolita or unboxings, and those in case you want to watch them, like in a playlist. And today I'm going to start a new one because I've been thinking about the Lolita 52 challenge from Yeah Lolita blog. I'll post it down below. And it has a lot of questions, 52 to be exact. And if I do them in one video it would be long, but I don't want to do just one question per video unless it's a really long one that I have 15-minute rant as an answer. So I thought I would start with a couple questions at a time. Today I have 5, and if you want me to answer any certain questions, they are indeed in the Yeah Lolita blog post that I will link. If you want me to answer any special questions, but I don't have an answer for all of them. There are some that I just don't really have an opinion on or an answer. So let's start. Today I'm answering 5 questions, and I'm not gonna answer them in the same order that they are listed, and I chose questions that are kind of related to the beginning of Lolita and what my Lolita is, so I'll start with question 10. How I first found out about Lolita. And I found out about Lolita basically through anime. I found anime quite late. I think I was in what you might call high school. I think I was around 17, 16 when I first realized that anime and manga was a thing. I mean, I've watched Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that way before, but I didn't know they were anime. I just thought, cartoons. But when I started to get more into anime, I noticed Lolita characters, and I can't remember what show it was because it was a very bad show. I only watched like 2 episodes, but there was a girl and they mentioned the word Lolita, and I was like, that looks kind of cute. So I googled it. It did not turn out how I wanted it, so I googled Lolita fashion and got somewhere. And that is basically where I first found Lolita, although I have, since I started looking at, there's a Finnish Lolita forum. I was a stalker long before I actually registered in there, and then found out more about the fashion, but the first introduction was through anime. And as you can see, I still like anime. I haven't grown over that one. 3 things I wish I was told when I was a new Lolita. Question 15. The biggest thing is that you don't have to do what's popular, because before Lolita, I've said this before, but in case this is one of my first videos you're watching, I was a very tomboy and still am. Outside of Lolita, I always wear these punk rock ripped jeans and a lot of print and bright colors, and I dye my hair funky colors. So when I finally had the courage to start doing something feminine, that is Lolita, I thought that of course I have to be a kind of sweet Lolita. I knew that pink was never going to be my thing, but I got white items, like a white blouse and a white dress that had a really cutesy brownish print with teddy bears and girls sitting at a table. I can't remember where it's from, but I got those and very quickly decided that it's not my thing. I had already made some skirts. The quality wasn't the best because that's how I started sewing. I've never done sewing before I started Lolita. So I wouldn't wear them anyways because the quality isn't quite so good. But what I wanted to say was number one, that you don't have to do sweet Lolita, or if your local community is very gothic, you don't have to do gothic Lolita or classic Lolita. You can do anything you want in any style you want and just do what feels you. You don't have to do something that someone else is doing. I wish I would have saved all that money that I used to buy like white items as well as black items. I know I've shown the blouse before. I don't want to dig it out, but I bought a black blouse with a Peter Pan collar and it's full of lace and pearls and heart-shaped buttons, and it's way too sweet for me even though it's black. So I wish I could have saved all that money and bought something that I could still use. But alas, it's not to be. So what I wish I knew when I was a new Lolita. 1. Do you? 2. Lace market exists. Because at first I bought an Innocent World dress straight from Innocent World, and then I bought Taobao indie brand dresses from Cutie Line. Cutie Land. And those ended up costing quite much, and I bought from Fan Plus Friend, and even though I still buy all of these, this is an Infanta dress that I very much love, but it would have been nice to know that Lace Market existed, so that if I were to buy brand items or if I want a certain style of clothing, I don't necessarily have to buy it from Indie Brand or Fan Plus Friend, but I could, you know, stalk Lace Market until I knew that I could buy something from there. It took me a quite long time because I knew that EGL existed, but I'm not a part of it, still not. I find it confusing and I just don't want to. But I wish I knew sooner that Lace Market existed. As for the third one, I really can't think of anything because I did quite much, almost a year of research before I started out, because I thought that I couldn't do Lolita, I just was a bystander. So you definitely don't have to wait a year until you start dressing in Lolita, but I did quite much research, so I don't really have anything else that I wish I would have known. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next question, which is what I thought when I got my first real piece of Lolita. Question 35. Define real piece of Lolita. Well, if we say my first brand item, it was the Innocent World dress, and when I got it I felt very ecstatic. It was so pretty and it fit me nicely and it was so pretty. But as you may have already heard from my previous videos, I have already sold that dress for a friend because it was a bit too short on me. But anyway, I first thought that it was awesome, and this was indeed what I wanted to do, so it was a very happy moment. Sorry I ran out of battery. But continuing, question 30. How long it took me to build a complete wardrobe? You can build a complete and versatile wardrobe with under 10 items, I think. And I'm gonna do a whole video about what pieces to start with. So it doesn't take all that many items to build a complete wardrobe, but a wardrobe is still never complete, kinda. I guess in the sense that when I had enough clothes so that I could make different kind of coordinates, I'd say it took me 2 or 3 months, or my wardrobe was complete, that I was happy with it, that I could do different kind of themed outfits, that I had a larger range of variety, I'd say 6 months. But even now I still wouldn't say that my wardrobe is complete, even though I have about 17, 18 dresses and 20 something skirts and a whole lot of blouses. But I wouldn't say it's complete because there is always something else that I want. There is always some kind of new release that is really pretty that I want, or something that I need, or something. There is always something else that a collector like me needs to own. So I would say that in the sense of you can make different kind of outfits, it took me, let's say, 4 months-ish, but my wardrobe will probably never be complete enough that I think that I won't need anything else. If that makes any sense. And as for the last question, it is number 7, and it is why I wear Lolita. And I'm gonna be boring and say because I want to. And that is the main reason. If you feel like you want to wear Lolita, but you don't know if your friends accept it, or if you have Lolita friends and they're kind of, hey, do you want to get in some frilly clothing? They're pretty, you'll feel special. But you don't want to, don't do it! It's that simple. Wear Lolita because you want to wear Lolita. And I have, even though Lolita for me is mostly just a fashion and I'm not very much not a lifestyle Lolita, but I have still met some very awesome friends through Lolita, and I have found more feminine features about myself with Lolita. So Lolita does indeed have brought into my life. I found sewing through Lolita, but still the main reason why I decided to wear Lolita is because I wanted to. It looked pretty and I thought that I could look pretty in it, and I just wore it. It's that simple. So those were the 5 questions for today, and I will be doing these every now and then. I don't have any kind of schedule for these. My only schedule is to kind of do more talky videos and then a tutorial and talky videos and tutorial, so that it's not 5 tutorials in a row. I'll try to separate those a bit, but I don't have any schedule besides that. But I will do these every now and then about questions that I feel like answering, and I'll do a different number of questions depending on how long my answers will be. I know my tutorials some of them are an hour long, which can be a bit much, so I'll try to keep these about 15-minute-ish, maybe 20-minute-ish long, so that you don't get quite so bored watching these. But please, I will link the 52 challenge in the description box down below, and if there are any questions that you would like me to answer in my next video, feel free to ask and I will do it whenever I do the next video. But that's it for today, and I'll see you again next Wednesday. Bye!